Gal, I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here on this rainy day. And rainy it has been, very much so. It rained 63, 64 millimeters in like 2 hours. That's like 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches of rain in 2 hours. So everything got very watered. We'll say it in so many words. There's some corn growing down there that I'm sure is very stoked about all of that rain. It hit us first, passed over us, and is now in town where my mom and sister is. It did take with it our electricity. It is dark in there. Whoa. Whoa. That was very synchronous. It used to be dark in there, but you literally watched summoning electricities. Nice. We love that. We like that. We love those. The ancestors in our DNA. Did you watch Battlestar Galactica recently? No. But if that's the premise of Battlestar Galactica, I think I need to start watching it because I haven't seen it at all. This is actually inspired by Lois Zana. And then me being inspired by Lois Zana had a conversation, a whole stream about it. I think on day 1111. And I did a whole thing today, Sam. Something that I don't usually. Did you hear that? What made that sound? I have to check. I have to. This thing is live streaming. I'm going to see if I can hear that sound. Something that I don't usually. Yeah, you can. I think on day 1111. And I did a whole thing today, Sam. Something that I don't usually. That was loud to me. That was very loud. The fuck was that? Yeah. I don't know. It sounded like something alive. It sounded like the sounds of something alive. Felt like I heard something breathing out there too. One momentous. Huh. Yeah, I can't tell you, yeah? I can't tell you what made that sound. But it was not a human one. And my dogs don't make those sounds either. So, talking about today's stream topic. It was inspired by Lois Zana, who inspired me to talk about it. And then I had a whole moment today where I went back and watched my old streams. I went back to day 444. And then after 444, I went to day 1111. And then after that, I went to day 1666. And then after that, I went to 1761 or 62, just recently. And I actually sat down and listened to myself a little bit, right? And I felt like I, for the first time ever, had the capacity to listen to myself as if I was another person. Because in a way, I literally am, right? The person, the version of me that did a 444 stream is so vastly different to that version of me, right? In so many ways, even to the way that I keep my face, right? I had like a, I don't even know how to do it at this point. I had like a constant risen eyebrow. And I was like looking at myself, watching myself ask me, what is this moment making me feel? And I was feeling stuff. I was like, stuff is being felt. How about that? Sounds like floorboard gnomes. Yeah, check your house for common magical pests. I mean, if it took me this long to notice them, I think they can stay. Not the premise exactly, but you'll love it all the same. I have heard a bunch of stuff about Battlestar Galacticus, so I should probably watch it. Part of me started wanting to remember something, but I was thinking more about Seth MacFarlane's almost like a knockoff of Star Wars, no, Star Trek. Sorry, sorry. Can't remember what it's called, but it does have some spacefaring qualities as well. Make maybe also make a tinfoil hat. It's just like I like knowing what's going on in my environment, kind of thing, Sam. So suddenly hearing a sound that I cannot immediately identify, right, and then disappears immediately as well. Like that messes with my brain. It's so good. The opening episode is my favorite opener of anything ever. Do watch the prequel too. I'll use this one. I'm considering watching Battlestar Galactica. Where should I start?
That's an excellent choice.
Yeah, of course. So, Battlestar Galactica, just like the OG miniseries, is a two-part miniseries that serves as the plot. Is that the one you're talking about, right? That sets up the entire premise of the war with the Cylons and the human fleet's desperate escape. This is where you must start. Okay, all right. The main series, which runs for 4 seasons, there are a few short webisodes, and a TV movie, Razor and the Plan, that fit within the main series timeline. The general advice is to watch the series first, then go back for the supplemental material, or you can look up a precise. There's something making sounds. It feels in a way like tuning into a channel. It's like there's a radio, right? And then suddenly it hits a channel, but then it continues to tune past it. So it just goes like this, like happening on the channel, and I just go. Weird stuff's happening. Look up a precise chronometer around. This is fine. Battlestar Galacticus. I do like the high concept stuff. Thinking about robot wars. I don't know if that's going to be good for my brain necessarily, but yes, the LLM is right. You can watch linear, but it'll ruin some good info drops if you watch Razor and plan when exactly they happen in the timeline. It'll ruin some good info drops. So I shouldn't watch the movie chronologically, is what you're saying. That is a lot of stuff to watch, so it is going to take me a while. And I just finished, well, just as relatively speaking, it's like a week ago now, Foundation. And I did enjoy that one. I know Battlestar Galactica is a little bit more old school, but it feels like it has similar Asimov kind of fractals. Right? Watch the two-parter, then start into the series. Yeah, the mini-series with the 2 seasons. I overstayed my welcome in Sleepland today. Aw, Joe. It's nice to have you here in the waking. It rained here, like a lot. Like, it rained 10-ish. You heard that again, right? There's something making sounds. It feels like there's some sort of, like, I've now given like a few different perspectives, right? The channel thing, but also like there is some sort of entity trying to crack into this reality, and he's like screaming on the other side of reality, and then every now and then only like a few instances of that entity comes through to this side. The fuck is that goddamn noise? I don't know. I actually don't know, Sam. I went outside to go and check if there is something that can make noises like that. There's nothing that makes those kinds of noises. Sleepland misses you. So do I. Kira Burp. Part of me wants to go and check again if I can see what's making that sound. I usually have a relatively firm grasp on reality. Or a sneeze. That noise sounded like a dog pretending to be a person and said woof. Or a sneeze. Yeah, it has all of those characteristics, right, Joe? Like it sounds like it's like the sounds are being made by something alive. What's making that sound? Part of me wishes I had really cool special effects. Start screaming. Get dragged off camera. It is spooky season after all. Yes, confused. Confused I am. Nothing out here makes those sounds. Hmm. Like an alien cosplaying as an earth dog to surveil us undercover. I hope so. I told the boy to go and make a tinfoil hat show. Starting to think that I might need to check the back of my neck for any marks. I'm like legit waiting for another one of those sounds. I'm not convinced it's not gonna happen again. The printer is making sounds as well. It depends on whether or not said intrusive aliens are interested in Melt's hippie thoughts. They can have my hippie thoughts. I happily give them freely. Might start to rain outside again. My whole feng shui, my whole situation got a little bit misdirected. My senses have been activated. But there's one more. It's probably just a loop of techno music, a Ramtas lecture, and the shaggy ass eureka moments that every stoner has. You better know it. If it tries, that poor alien will never find its way out. There we go, shown us. Yeah, that poor alien is gonna get lost. Just as lost as I am. Welcome to the circus, little alien. There is infinity in here. There is infinity for us to explore. Ever more layers of depth that keep showing themselves as we continue to ask ourselves the questions. A labyrinth of higher mind concepts, all folded in on themselves like a fingerprint, all folding out of themselves like a book that holds stories. Every line, another little paintbrush stroke on the canvas that is your mind's picture of what's happening. Ooh, that's a pretty line. You friends inspire me. Seriously, I feel like I have to like stand up and like I'll say pretty lines too. I will too. Pretty lining together. No you show. Love is true. I appreciate you friends. Today's stream topic is how we are, we have our ancestors in our DNA. Sam did ask me earlier, but I got distracted by the Battlestar Galactica instead of talking about the thing I'm supposed to talk about. This was inspired by something that Louisiana said, and I can't remember exactly what it is Louisiana said, but I did a live stream inspired by her saying how we have our ancestors, right? In our DNA. I think that's what she said at least because that's the context that I pulled. And then I watched myself do a live stream talking about that. And there was one thing that I said where I talked about how the legs that you're walking on, the hands that feed yourself, right? The arms that help you manipulate your reality are a genetic variant of your ancestors. That they, in a way, had your arms, right? It might have done vastly different things with them. They might have had very different opportunities. But it is clear that our minds are rising in complexity and our bodies remain as they have been. Favorite thing to do with friends? Answers will appear as chat messages. Ah, cool. I'll make it green. Yeah, sweet. Ah, I think I deleted it. Your friends tell me if you notice anything. YouTube every now and then gives me a little pop-up button that asks me to ask you a question. I don't know if questions are usually the thing that bring us into this space. It's something that I've dealt with in myself as well, where I feel a certain sense of insecurity in not being more questioning, not being more active, proactive with prying almost into people's lives, right? Asking them more questions about how it is they're doing and what it is they have going on. And it's not because I don't care, it's just because I feel it is one of those dual edged swords, right? One edge of the sword, the good edge of the sword, you show that you care. The other side of the sword is one, the performance anxiety with how it is you are iteratively. And then two, how long it takes you to tell me, if you want to tell me at all. What am I to do while I wait in the uncertainty of whether or not I'll get a message in return as well? Sometimes a question comes in a moment of busyness to the point where it is missed. Right? Ancestors. Ancestors in my DNA. I'm trying to think about how I can access all of that infinite information to be more creative, more inspired, more inspiring, more motivated to do something. There is a lot of there is a lot of us. There is a lot for us to do still. Thinking about what it looks like to do more. But I find myself definitely thinking about it through the lens of opportunity, and I wonder if that's a limitation that I self impose. Maybe I can create more clarity by speaking clearly and saying, I think about stuff like longevity a lot, right? What it takes to make a person live longer. And that's something that I really do find fascinating, valuable, if you will. And it's something I would love to participate in. But do I need a medical degree to do that? Is that what is required of me in order to participate in the world in that way? Right? And if that is what it takes, then that might not be something that I do, at least not anytime soon, right? And I'm willing to almost like admit that to myself and give myself that leeway as well. Are we okay with being something else? I think it's a matter of perspective of other as well, right? Something else is again an ego attachment to what it is you think you were supposed to be, who it is you think you were supposed to be, what it is you think your life was supposed to look like. And as soon as that becomes the attachment, you find yourself in this almost like recursive loop of trying to get yourself back to what you think is perfect. And it is a hard lesson to learn that you won't succeed. You won't succeed in looping. All right, you have to do something. You have to channel your mind. And again, I find that myself, the way that that looks like is usually in staying busy. Even if that busy is just me exposing myself to comedy, intellectual content, occasional reading, really occasional. Is that what I'm made for? These questions. If my ancestors could see me now, what would they be thinking? Harsh questions to ask sometimes. Jeeps, I can't know what they'd say. I'd like to know that they would say nice things, hopefully. Maybe there is some familial love that remains. Do you love and care about your great grandchildren the same way you love your children or grandchildren? And why? Right? Surely you should. Think if we can think like that a little bit more, maybe we'll be a little bit more mindful. Ooh, that's a pretty line. Love is true. Is it moral to do anything, as that affects change on a system that functions just fine without our interference? Ooh, can I escape responsibility by repackaging hedonism as non interference? Sounds very human to ask such a question. Can I escape responsibility? I don't know. I don't know about that, Sam. I don't think we can escape responsibility. I think what we can escape is redundancy, right? Is redundancy, repetitivity. Think we can change the part of reality that drains us of the energy that's required for us to properly engage with it, you know? And I think once we get to that point of automation, maybe we'll want to engage. Maybe we'll want to interfere, to say it in the direct words. Well, I usually adhere to the prime directive in times like this, but if I don't interfere in the development of this species, they're gonna keep doing stupid shit. And I live here too. Yeah, there we go. Look at us getting to the same point in a way. Yeah, you're right. I live here too. And those that I love also do. It's gonna take every single one of us to make this world a better place. And better still, it's gonna take us a long time. Long, long, very long time. I think that part is inescapable. It's like wanting a tree. And I'm looking at that tri tree. I do love it, even though I'm looking at it through prison bars. It's still pretty to me. Still brings me joy. But the only way for that entity to be there as it is and bring me joy in this moment as it does is for a lot of time to have passed. Lots of time. At least, I want to say 60 years. At least 60 years. This tree was already big when I moved here as a child. I'm having a whole moment looking at this place. I had a moment like that earlier today as well, watching some of my own live streams. And again, day 444, it started with me just having the space, having the space open. Right? No, no melt to be seen. And even just that has changed so much in the last 1,000+ days that it felt like a different world as well. Felt like a completely different world. To the point where it's kind of trippy to me. I think that's going to happen many times in our lifetimes. As we keep showing up day after day, years after years, decades after decades, centuries after centuries, we're going to be able to go and look back and see all of the different ways that we've been, and we probably would have forgotten up until that moment of remembrance so much. We never stop learning, adhering to the prime directive. I want to have more context on that as well, Sam. You want to tell me what that means? Exactly. What exactly does it look like to adhere to the prime directive? What is prime directive? Love is true. I think that's prime directive for me. The Prime Directive is an order from Starfleet preventing them from interfering in the development of less intelligent species. Yeah. Hi all. I've been dozing on and off. Melt has been talking to me while I sleep. The rain there sounds nice. Aw. Nancy, that's so wholesome. Makes me happy to know that I'm sending you frequencies. My voice and the raindrops intermingling is a symphony of experience, uniquely yours, as you're having it. It's supposed to ensure they all develop as they should. And why Strange New Worlds got that first special episode. That planet was interfered with and developed nukes based on their technology. I did watch that. And I do, as you were like saying it, like click that. I just had to like confirm Prime Directive. It didn't like immediately link onto Star Trek for me. So I had to like find out. Thank you for telling me. It's true. Interfering with less intelligent entities, VCs. You have a good voice for bedtime stories, Mel. It's interesting you say that. When my dad had COVID, Nancy, he would have me just talk to him while I was sitting next to his bedside. I held his hand. He was like super hard of breathing and like in a fever pitch. And I would have a conversation with him. And then reach a point where I would ask him a question. And then he would be like, kind of like passed out. And then I would be like, okay, I see, you know, you probably want to sleep. Can't have any more conversations that way. And he goes, no, 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 keep talking. Continue, continue, just talk me a lullaby. Maybe that could be a little spin-off thing I do on the side. When I need grounded, I remind myself of my prime directive, the pursuit of love and light. Mm. Yeah. That's something I can get behind as well. For me, my prime directive is love is true. I feel like it's the same as your show in a way, the pursuit thereof, but it's almost to me like a reminder that it already is. This thing that I'm pursuing, this love that I'm pursuing, this light that I'm pursuing, it's already true. It's already me. It's already you. Your dad is lying there, and you go let me pull a card. Your dad is lying there, and you go let me pull a card. That does sound fun, adding that canon event. Uh, yeah. My mind is trying to interpret the information you gave me, Nancy. And I think that's also something that definitely came from my ancestors. I did see it in my dad a little bit as well during these last few years, where we have the ability to be very enthusiastic and ambitious, excited with the prospect of certain opportunities. Many different ones available to us in this reality. And like I'm entertaining, unironically, Nancy, the idea of being a bedtime storyteller. And I'm like, what does that look like? Do I do super moody readings? All right. What work am I gonna read? Sam, maybe. The cards you are no longer allowed to use. Go, let me pull a card. Nancy. You know, it is interesting that you feel extra vocal about it today. It's my dad's birthday today. He turned 55. The big 5-5. And it rained a lot, which is a good thing for the farm, right? Extra water for the plants and stuff. So it felt like a gift in that way. I really wish he would be cool with it as well. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Melt Prime. Thank you, friends. Nancy, are you channeling Hoopy? Sam, maybe. Maybe, Sam. Maybe I'm leaning into my speak it as it comes. Just like feel what's the next word. Not have a sentence in mind. Just feel what the next word is. Maybe go through all those expectations and realize what is that? What does that mean? Me channeling my inner Hoopy for a second. So happy birthday to Melt Papa. Papa Melt. Thank you, friends. I'll do this. Watch. Watch, watch, watch. Mm. Ja, laat me nou select niet ook. Nee. Yeah, we got a rot. We get a lot of rain. We're gonna open Dad's message, do a video, and then go. Hey, papa. Ik heb mensen verteld dat papa zijn verjaarsdag is vandaag en hulle stuur hulle liefde papa ook. Mwah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Loveception. All right. Can you feel it? It's time. It's time for flowers. That's the card I can give you right of now. This is what we got from yesterday. I am calm. I am at peace. Them heart eyes, making me all happy. Like that. Ah, this is the card you wanted to see? one is bright. Yeah, it has like dimensionality to it as well. These little dark spots look like shading a bit. Alrighty. Alrighty, petite. It's time for us to read like that. Love is true. Everything is dancing you forward. Boom. The future hums. Soft at first, like a drum behind the sun. We feel it. You feel it. The thick, the thrum, the little hum that says, go on. Every heart is a metronome. Every dream keeps time. We sink to the shimmer, the pulse of the ever arriving divine. The cosmos is counting. One for wonder, two for chance, three for all the times we said yes and stepped into the dance. We're rhythm woven, starlight driven, half chaos, half calm, learning the music of who we are becoming. No rush, no chase, just breath, just grace. The galaxies spin and we spin too, round and round, becoming new. So lift your eyes, tap your feet, let your laughter find the beat. You are right on time, you always were. Everything, yes, everything is dancing you forward. I thank you, friends, for dancing forward here with me so relentlessly. It really is a pleasure being here in these moments with you. The way we have been, this ever unfolding journey has been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing how much more layers of me will unfold. I'm definitely in a space where I'm like very self-conscious right now, where I'm like extra aware of my own beingness and the fact that I exist. Usually I almost try to avoid these kinds of uh, experiences in so many words, right? So I can stay focused on what I can control. But it is a nice change of pace. I wonder how much more there is for me to learn. The thing that's interesting to me is there is even things for me to learn from myself that I've already known in the past, but need to be reminded of today again. Having a healthy diet of information, very important. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal of all of his most profound thoughts. That really does have a ring to it. Something I could get better at. I mean, this is also my attempt of doing something like that in some way. There will be a percentage of really high value information, like a little string of gold, Tristan Blaze. You know what I mean? Little string of gold, though, somewhere in this live stream. Maybe it's here now. Maybe it's here as me and you are, right? Getting to remember the way in which we met. You got to see me, a certain version of me. I'm pretty sure that version of me is a little long hair and stuff, right? Got to see a certain version of me do exactly what it is I'm doing right now. And the world you grew up in already had YouTube, right? Like you were born into a world where YouTube was already a very big deal. And you saw me in a certain way, in a way that I haven't allowed myself to see myself just yet, kind of thing, you know? And Every single time that you find yourself back here in this space, both of us would have grown, right? Both of us would have continued the evolution of our journey forward. And there's still a lot, there's still a lot for us to grow. Like a lot. Imagine what this stream is going to look like a decade from now. Ideally, at the very least, this is like the kind of goals I want to set for myself. 10 years from now, at the very least, my tripod needs to be one, a 360 camera, and two, motorized at the base, where it has like the ability to extend its neck up and down, and it has like a little maybe ball, big old ball at the center of it of a gyroscope that keeps it levelized. I mean, there's probably something better to use as well. Maybe just like two wheels, having like a Segway situation down there. But just having that little thing follow you around as a cameraman, right? At the very least, that should be the setup. Audio, I hope that part has gotten easier at that point. Either with, I think with really dynamic, almost like audio enhancement on board of the device, we won't need microphones that much anymore. Especially not if I have a little cameraman that can follow me around and be in audio range. That, or I'll have one of my teeth replaced with a microphone or something like that. And then what would the value, what would the content be of the streams? Ideally, it should be mind bending, mind melting, right? Visual, bright, exciting, inspiring. Maybe a little bit enlightening, but that's the part of me that has a lot of ego going on. Would love to help enlighten. Oh, that'd be great. Uh, Baffling as well, right? The mind bending one comes back like it should be a little bit perplexing. I think is the word I'm looking for. 10 years from now, you better have upgraded from that broken tripod by then. Never. Never. My robo tripod is gonna be this one, just strapped to a moving bot. I'm joking. Of course. Of course. At that point, everything must have been replaced. This tripod has gone for like 5 years, technically, right? It's now like we're closing in on the 5 year mark of having used this exact same tripod day after day. Yeah, this tripod has served us well. It is falling apart though. It's no longer structurally integral. Part of me just realized that I could utilize duct tape. It's probably gonna look more hectic, but it will technically work better. Joe, I love this tripod. Trust pigeons. Look at that, Joe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. You see that, Joe? Nice. I can move it a little bit out of the way. You trust pigeons? Government spies. You trust pigeons? Feels very canonically, accurate for us. It's giving me an answer button, but I don't know if I'm allowed to push it. Let me see if I go from here. I think it might only be accessible to the people that find me organically. So if you click on my stream from the main page, what happens? There be me's, sure. I don't see any questions up here. Unfortunately not. If I go to shorts, see if I can scroll onto my own stream. Nope. This is hurting me more, and then I think the payout will be worth in seeing what the question looks like. You'll just have to believe, Melt. The technology says. What is this pigeon nonsense? So let me show you like this. Actually, I'll do it like this. Yeah, it's fine. So right now, GBs, this feels very counterintuitive. Camera is right there, but the screen, what is happening? You can kind of see it from there, right? Trust pigeons, it asks. And that trust pigeons question, it gave me to ask. It was literally like, do you want to ask your friends a Q&A? And then the question it gave is trust pigeons? And then I like try. And now there's like a little bobule above my head that says trust pigeons? Answer. But I don't seem to be able to see it on my side, and clearly you don't either. Streamcepticon. It's an infinity screen. Oh, my infinity screen. I was like tripping out about that as well, to be completely honest. Pigeons. Only the feathery ones. Yes. Especially the feathery ones, Darren. My mind is suddenly just having like a whole thing of a class of pigeons that are featherless. And they're the bad kinds. They're the kinds that wield knives, have like little guns. Don't want to mess with the featherless pigeons. All right. I have delayed enough. It was nice having you friends here with me today. Thank you for sharing in this space while I hid away from the rain. It's nice to stay dry when it's raining outside. It's nice to have friends in a moment like this here with me. I appreciate you joining. I'll see you again real soon. Bless you, friends. Thank you for your presence. Until we do it again tomorrow. Goodbye.